She appeared in his dream, before he ever met her. Yet for the past 3 nights, something different had begun to occur. Something that he could not explain and, more importantly, could not ignore. It started with the stars. In his dreams, he was standing on a smooth, white platform that extended infinitely in every direction. The sky above him was not the familiar black sprinkled with tiny pinpricks of light. Instead, it was a deep, violet expanse, glowing faintly from some unknown energy. The stars did not simply shine, they shimmered, pulsing softly as if they were alive. And then she appeared. She was standing a few meters away, bathed in a soft, golden light that seemed to radiate from her very being. Her hair fell in waves over her shoulders, dark and glinting with hints of violet, almost like the sky above them. Her eyes met his, and in that moment Adrian felt a strange familiarity. He knew her, though he had never met her. Her presence felt like a warm current running through him, a certainty he could not place. "You have to listen," she said, her voice echoing as though it came from both near and far. "The anomaly is coming, you must be ready." "An anomaly?" Adrian asked, though his voice felt weak and distant. "What anomaly? What do you mean?" But she did not answer. Instead, she raised a hand and pointed toward a distant cluster of stars. They moved strangely, twisting and flickering, forming patterns he had never seen in any telescope, in any star map. And then she vanished, leaving only the faint scent of something metallic and unfamiliar. Adrian awoke with a start, his heart pounding, the memory of her words burning in his mind. At first, he tried to dismiss it. Perhaps it was stress from his work at the astrobiology lab, or the long hours he had spent analyzing data from deep space probes. He told himself it was just a dream, but when he woke the next morning, something unusual happened. On his nightstand lay a small, metallic trinket that he did not remember putting there. It was shaped like a tiny star, intricate and delicate, with patterns etched into its surface that made no sense. He turned it over in his hand, feeling the smooth metal, the strange warmth emanating from it. He tried to rationalize it, maybe a gift from a colleague, left by accident, but nothing in his life explained its presence. He pocketed it, telling himself he would figure it out later, but the dreams continued, each night more vivid than the last. The woman appeared again, always in the same glowing light, always pointing toward some unknown cosmic event. She never spoke beyond the warning, yet he began to understand that she was guiding him. Something important was at stake, and she had chosen him to act. During the day, Adrian poured himself into his work, scanning distant signals from the edge of the solar system. He studied new planets, analyzed data from the latest human colonies, and reviewed research on cosmic anomalies. He noticed strange energy fluctuations in one of the sectors he had been monitoring for months, a faint, irregular pulse that did not match any known celestial object. He couldn't stop thinking about the dreams. Each detail, the violet sky, the shimmering stars, the metallic scent, and above all her eyes, was etched in his memory. There was a strange certainty that these visions were not just figments of imagination. Something was trying to communicate with him, to warn him. Something beyond Earth, beyond humanity, beyond comprehension. The third night brought the most vivid dream yet. He stood on the same white platform, but this time the stars above seemed closer, almost within reach. The woman was there again, her gaze steady and urgent. She raised both hands and the distant stars shifted, forming a spiraling pattern that spun around him, dizzying and beautiful. "You must go," she said. "You will know where when the time comes. The colony is at risk. They depend on you." "Colony?" Adrian asked, confusion rising. "Which colony? I don't understand." She shook her head gently, a faint smile touching her lips. "You will understand. Trust what you see. Trust yourself." Before he could ask more, the platform beneath him began to dissolve, the stars stretching into lines of light as if the entire universe were moving past him. And then he woke, gasping, drenched in sweat. In his hand, once again, was something new, a tiny crystal, faintly glowing with the same violet hue as the sky in his dreams. Adrian sat on the edge of his bed, staring at it. There was no logical explanation. No one in his lab could have left it for him. No one had access to his apartment besides him. Yet here it was, proof that the dreams were real in some form, tangible and undeniable. He tried to ignore it, telling himself he needed rest, that perhaps he was losing his mind. But he couldn't. The sense of purpose, the feeling of being chosen, grew stronger. By the fourth night, he no longer waited for sleep to come passively. He prepared himself, meditated, and allowed his mind to focus on the dream, hoping to understand her message more clearly. When he fell asleep, the platform appeared once more, stretching endlessly, the violet stars glowing softly. She was waiting for him, closer this time, and her voice carried an urgency he could no longer ignore. "The comet is coming," she said simply. "It carries something dangerous, something the colony cannot survive alone. You must go, find the coordinates. Time is shorter than you think." Adrian felt a shiver run down his spine. Humanity had mapped many celestial bodies, tracked countless objects across the solar system, but he had never encountered a comet behaving like this. He knew it wasn't just space dust and ice. It carried an energy signature unlike anything known. If her warning was real, the consequences could be catastrophic. He awoke again, and for the first time, he did not feel confusion or fear. Instead, he felt a sense of determination. He understood that dreams had led him here for a reason. That metallic trinket, the crystal, the visions, they were pieces of a puzzle he was meant to solve. Over the next few days, Adrian began making preparations. He reviewed his research on deep space navigation, star mapping, and cosmic anomalies. He ran simulations, trying to predict the path of the mysterious comet, comparing it with the energy pulses he had detected. The more he analyzed, the more the patterns from his dreams aligned with reality. His colleagues noticed a change in him. Adrian was usually calm and methodical, but now he moved with purpose and intensity. He would not explain why, only hinting at a discovery that could change humanity's understanding of space. He didn't yet fully understand the dreams or the woman, but he trusted them. One evening, as he examined the crystal under a magnifying lens, a faint projection appeared from within it, a holographic map of stars, distant planets, and a single path illuminated in violet. His heart raced. The path matched the anomaly in his simulations. The comet was not random. It was on a collision course with a human colony far from Earth, a settlement that had only recently begun to thrive. Adrian realized the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. He was just one man, yet he had been chosen to act. Human ingenuity, intuition, and courage, the very qualities that had allowed humanity to survive and explore the stars, would be tested like never before. That night, he went to bed once more, hoping for guidance. The platform appeared and she was waiting. She did not speak at first, merely nodding toward the path he had now seen in the crystal. Then she said softly, "You are ready. Begin your journey. Humanity depends on it." Adrian awoke with the first rays of sunlight streaming into his apartment. He felt a mixture of fear, anticipation, and awe. The dreams had been more than visions. They were a call to action, a challenge that required every ounce of human creativity and resilience. As he prepared for the journey that lay ahead, Adrian could not help but wonder about her. Who was she? How had she reached him across space and dreams? Was she human or something more? And yet, even without answers, he knew one truth clearly: he would not fail. Not when humanity's future was at stake, not when someone had chosen him to act. The stars outside his window twinkled, ordinary in appearance yet hiding secrets far beyond human understanding. And somewhere in the vastness of space, a distant colony waited, unaware of the danger approaching. Adrian clenched his fists, feeling the surge of determination within him. The dreams had shown him a path. Now it was his turn to walk it. Humanity had always reached for the stars. Now, Adrian would take that reach further than anyone had before, guided by the visions of a woman he had never met, yet somehow already knew. Adrian spent the next morning in a state of focused urgency. He moved quickly through his apartment, packing equipment, tools, and personal items with careful precision. Each item he selected felt necessary, as though the dreams had already guided him toward a path he could not yet fully see. His mind buzzed with calculations and questions, yet a calm certainty grounded him. He had to follow the trail, no matter how impossible it seemed. By noon, he was in his lab, surrounded by holographic star charts and computer simulations. The anomaly, the comet, was behaving unlike any celestial object humans had ever encountered. It pulsed with an energy signature that seemed alive, almost sentient, moving not just along a fixed path but making subtle shifts, as if adjusting its trajectory in response to forces unknown. Adrian studied it for hours, tracing its course and overlaying the star maps from his dreams. Every detail matched: the pattern, the pulse, the direction toward a distant colony he had never visited. The woman's words echoed in his mind. "You will understand. Trust what you see. Trust yourself." He wondered how she knew about the colony, how she had reached him in his dreams. Yet he did not question whether he should act. His responsibility was clear, and he felt a deep, human determination to rise to it. Using the lab's advanced technology, he began to assemble a plan. He would need a ship capable of reaching the outer colonies faster than conventional travel allowed. It would need advanced navigation systems to track the comet, energy shields to withstand the unknown forces surrounding it, and propulsion capable of maneuvers beyond what any human crew had attempted. The task seemed insurmountable, yet Adrian was not one to shy away from a challenge. He felt the weight of humanity's ingenuity behind him, as if every scientist, explorer, and pioneer who had come before him had lent him strength. By evening, he had outlined a preliminary design. The ship would not be large, he would travel alone, but it would be sufficient to reach the coordinates revealed in the crystal projection. As he worked, he occasionally paused, recalling the woman's face in the dreams. Her expression had never been fearful or frantic. It was calm, confident, yet filled with urgency. That certainty inspired him. If she believed he could do this, then he must try. The following days were consumed with preparation. Adrian coordinated with AI systems to enhance calculations, simulate trajectories, and predict possible hazards. The AI could process vast amounts of data, yet it lacked the intuition that Adrian had developed from his dreams. He noticed patterns, subtle clues that the machines ignored, and he relied on them to refine the plan. It was a collaboration of human creativity and artificial intelligence, a combination that had always defined humanity's successes in the stars. As the ship's construction neared completion, Adrian received a surprise visitor. Lieutenant Mara Jensen, a senior officer from Earth's Interstellar Exploration Division, entered the lab without warning. "Adrian, you've been unreachable," she said, scanning the data displays. "We've been monitoring your research. This anomaly, you're saying it's real?" Adrian nodded, holding up the crystal. "It's real, and it's dangerous. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's heading toward a colony. I need to reach it before it's too late." Mara studied him for a long moment. "You're talking about leaving Earth on your own. This is unprecedented. You could be risking your life, Adrian." He met her gaze, unwavering. "I understand the risk, but the dreams, they've shown me the path. The crystal confirms it. I can't wait for permission or a larger mission. The colony depends on action now." Mara hesitated, then sighed. "I don't like it, but I see your determination. You have my support in whatever way you need it. Just promise me you'll be careful." Adrian smiled faintly. "Careful is relative, but I will return. Humanity has never faced a challenge it could not meet, and I intend to prove that again. The ship, a sleek vessel of gleaming metal, stood ready in the orbital hangar. Its engines hummed softly, a quiet promise of speed and endurance. Adrian stepped aboard, checking systems, securing supplies, and reviewing the projected trajectory one last time. He felt the familiar pulse of anticipation in his chest, the human thrill of venturing into the unknown. As the engines ignited, propelling him toward the outer colonies, Adrian reflected on the dreams that had brought him here. He had always believed that humans were capable of remarkable feats. Technology, knowledge, creativity, and courage. These were tools that could overcome any obstacle. Yet he had never felt the force of human determination as strongly as he did now, when the fate of distant lives rested in his hands. The journey through space was long and lonely. Adrian kept himself occupied with calculations, star mapping, and maintaining the ship. He marveled at the beauty of the cosmos, the way stars glimmered against the black canvas of space, and every night as he rested, the dreams returned. The woman appeared, guiding him, revealing subtle hints about navigation, energy fluctuations, and the nature of the anomaly. Each dream left him more certain that the comet was not merely an object of ice and rock. It carried a force he could barely comprehend, yet he understood that human ingenuity, paired with intuition and courage, would be the key to confronting it. Several weeks into the journey, Adrian encountered the first major challenge. A field of asteroid fragments, previously undetected, stretched across his path. The AI immediately calculated evasive maneuvers, but the field shifted unpredictably. Debris struck the ship, shaking it violently, and alarms blared. Adrian's hands moved quickly over the controls, adjusting thrusters, redirecting energy shields, and timing each movement with precision. Hours passed, each moment a test of focus and resilience. Finally, the last fragment passed, leaving the ship battered but intact. Adrian exhaled deeply. The danger had been real, and he had faced it using both human intuition and the support of AI systems. It was a small victory, but a reminder that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges. That night the dream came again, more vivid than ever. The woman appeared, standing on the white platform, stars spinning around her. She pointed toward a glowing point in space. Adrian recognized it immediately, the comet. Its energy pulses were irregular but growing stronger, like a heartbeat accelerating toward a climax. "You are close," she said. "Do not falter. Humanity's reach is stronger than this threat. You must act." "I will," Adrian replied, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing on him. "But what can I do? How can one person stop something like this?" "You will see," she said. "Humanity has always found a way. Trust in yourself, in your ingenuity. The colony depends on it." He awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. The dreams were not merely warnings. They were guidance, a reminder that human creativity and courage could meet even the most impossible challenges. He studied the comet's trajectory, adjusted the ship's course, and prepared for the final approach. As he neared the outer colony, the scale of the anomaly became clear. The comet was massive, glowing faintly with violet energy. Its movement was unpredictable, twisting through space as if aware of his presence. Adrian marveled at the forces at play, yet he did not falter. He recalled the dreams, the woman's words, and the countless human achievements that had brought humanity to this point. He had faced danger before, solved impossible problems, and adapted to unknown conditions. He could do this too. The colony appeared on the ship's sensors, a cluster of habitats orbiting a distant planet. He saw lights flickering, movement, signs of life. Time was short. The comet's pulses grew stronger, and the energy it carried could devastate the colony if unmitigated. Adrian studied the instruments, calculating the precise moment to act, the perfect alignment to redirect the comet without causing harm. He recalled the woman's guidance from the dreams. subtle hints about energy manipulation, trajectories, and timing. It was as if the universe itself had prepared him for this moment, using dreams to teach him what no machine could. His hands moved quickly over the controls, adjusting thrusters, redirecting energy shields, and using the ship's experimental propulsion system to approach the comet. The comet loomed closer, vast and glowing, its surface rippling with energy. Adrian felt a surge of human determination, a fierce pride in the capability that had brought humanity across the stars. He would act not just as an individual, but as a representative of humanity's ingenuity, courage, and resilience. He initiated the final maneuver, guiding the comet along a new trajectory. The ship vibrated, energy shields flaring, instruments beeping frantically. Every calculation mattered, every movement was critical. And then, slowly, the comet responded. Its path shifted, guided by his actions, its pulses stabilizing, energy dispersing harmlessly into space. Adrian exhaled deeply, relief washing over him. The colony was safe. Humanity had triumphed once again, not through luck, but through courage, creativity, and the determination of one human guided by the vision of another. As he looked toward the distant platform where the dreams had always occurred, he felt her presence. The woman, somehow aware of the outcome, appeared briefly in his mind, smiling. "Well done," she said softly. "Humanity's spirit shines brightly. This is only the beginning." Adrian realized then that the journey had not been about stopping a comet alone. It was about proving that human intuition, courage, and ingenuity could face any challenge, even across the vast expanse of space. The dreams had been a bridge, connecting minds across distance and time, guiding him to act when it mattered most. And as he prepared to return to Earth, carrying knowledge, experience, and a renewed sense of purpose, he understood something vital. Humanity was more than a species of explorers, scientists, and thinkers. Humanity was a force of creativity, resilience, and determination, capable of reaching the stars and protecting its own, no matter the odds. The journey was far from over, but Adrian was ready. The dreams had shown him a path, and he would continue to follow it, confident that humanity's strength lay not in technology alone, but in the courage and ingenuity of its people. The stars outside his viewport glimmered, ordinary yet filled with infinite possibilities. And somewhere across the universe, the woman waited, guiding, teaching, and watching as humanity continued to rise. Adrian floated inside the control cabin of his ship, the stars outside stretching into long streaks as the engines propelled him deeper into the unknown. The comet had been deflected, and the colony was safe, but something about the mission still felt incomplete. He could not shake the sense that the woman in his dreams had more to show him, more guidance to give. The dreams had led him here, yet they hinted at challenges still ahead. As he approached the coordinates revealed in the crystal, a new feeling washed over him, anticipation, mingled with awe. The distant planet came into view, a swirl of blue and green, its orbit traced by a ring of small satellites and human habitats. He had never seen it in person, only through simulations and reports. The colony seemed peaceful, almost fragile, floating quietly in the vastness of space. Adrian carefully guided his ship closer, scanning the area. There was no immediate danger, no indication of any threat besides the distant comet that had now passed safely. And yet he sensed a presence, subtle, almost imperceptible, like the pull of the dreams themselves. He adjusted the ship's approach, following the invisible threads that seemed to stretch from the stars themselves to this very colony. The moment he landed, the atmosphere of the colony hit him. Warm, breathable air, the faint hum of machinery, and the distant voices of human life. It was reassuring, a reminder that humanity had expanded far beyond Earth, that humans could survive and thrive even in the most remote reaches of space. He stepped onto the platform outside his ship, feeling the gravity of the planet beneath his feet. The sensation was strange, comforting, and grounding all at once. He was not alone. A figure stood at the far edge of the landing pad. Her hair caught the sunlight, shimmering faintly, and her eyes met his immediately. She was the same woman from his dreams, Lyra. His heart leapt, a mixture of recognition and disbelief flooding him. Every detail matched: the glow of her presence, the calm certainty in her expression, the faint warmth that seemed to radiate from her. "You came," she said simply, her voice carrying across the platform. "I had to," Adrian replied, taking a few steps forward. "The dreams, they led me here. I don't fully understand how, but I trust them." Lyra nodded. "And that trust has brought you to the right place. The anomaly we feared is not gone. It has been delayed, but the energy it carries is still dangerous. You must act again, Adrian. This time, it will require more than navigation and calculation. You must understand its nature." Adrian felt the weight of her words. He had faced the comet once, relying on human ingenuity and intuition to redirect it. But this time, the stakes were higher. The anomaly's energy pulsed unpredictably, almost as if it were alive, and he realized that technology alone might not be enough. He would need to combine human creativity, courage, and determination with every skill he possessed. Lyra led him into a central control hub, a circular structure with holographic displays and observation windows that looked out across the colony. "We have been studying the energy," she explained. "It reacts to thought patterns, to intention. Machines can track it, but they cannot influence it fully. That is why you were chosen. Your dreams connected with me because humans have a unique ability to adapt, to think beyond logic, to act with empathy and creativity." Adrian listened carefully, absorbing every word. The realization was both thrilling and intimidating. Humanity had always relied on technology to explore space, but now he understood that human intuition was just as vital, perhaps more so in situations that defied conventional science. "We must act quickly," Lyra continued. "The energy is heading toward the colony's main power core. If it reaches it, the entire settlement could be destroyed. You must combine our knowledge with your instincts to redirect it safely." Adrian nodded, feeling a surge of determination. "Show me everything you know," he said. "We'll do this together." Over the next hours, Lyra guided him through the colony's systems. They analyzed the energy pulses, traced the comet's residual path, and devised a plan that relied on both human intuition and technological precision. Adrian's mind worked rapidly, connecting the patterns he had seen in his dreams with real-world data. The holographic displays showed fluctuating energy fields, the comet's trajectory, and the colony's vulnerable points. "This is remarkable," Adrian said, studying a display. "It's like the energy is responding to thought itself, almost like it's alive. We'll need to anticipate its reactions, predict how it will move, and act in ways machines alone cannot." Lyra nodded. "Exactly, and that is why you were chosen. Trust your instincts. Humans have survived countless challenges because of intuition, creativity, and resilience. This is no different." The first phase of their plan involved creating a controlled field around the colony, using energy shields and carefully timed pulses to stabilize the comet's energy. Adrian worked alongside Lyra, adjusting the controls, monitoring readings, and predicting fluctuations. Each adjustment required split-second decisions, a combination of skill, observation, and instinct. The AI assisted with calculations, but the human touch guided the final outcomes. Hours passed, the tension building with every moment. The comet's energy pulses grew stronger, reacting to their interventions unpredictably. At one point, a sudden spike nearly destabilized the shield, forcing Adrian to improvise a new solution on the spot. He rerouted energy from auxiliary systems, recalibrated the field, and stabilized the pulse. Lyra watched closely, her calm demeanor encouraging him. "You are doing well," she said. "Human determination is stronger than this energy realizes." Finally, the critical moment arrived. The energy pulses of the comet aligned with the colony's power core, threatening to overload the systems. Adrian and Lyra combined their knowledge and intuition, focusing on the flow of energy, predicting its movement, and timing their interventions perfectly. The comet's energy shifted, guided by human hands and human thought, and slowly it began to move away from the colony. Adrian felt a surge of triumph, a deep pride in what they had accomplished together. The energy, once wild and unpredictable, now flowed harmlessly past the settlement, dissipating into space. The colony was safe. Humanity had prevailed once again, not through luck, but through courage, creativity, and determination. Lyra smiled, a warm, genuine expression that radiated relief and admiration. "You see, humans are capable of extraordinary things. Your instincts, your courage, your ability to adapt, they are what make you strong." Adrian exhaled, feeling the weight of the experience settle around him. The journey had tested him in ways he had never imagined, pushing the limits of human ability and resilience. Yet he had proven, not just to himself but to the universe, that humanity could rise to any challenge. They spent the next day reviewing the systems, ensuring the colony was secure, and documenting their findings. Adrian marveled at the ingenuity of human engineering and the collaborative spirit that had allowed them to protect the settlement. He realized that the dreams, the guidance of Lyra, and his own intuition had all combined to create a solution that no single technology or person could have achieved alone. That night, as he rested, the dreams returned once more, but this time they were different. Lyra appeared not as a distant figure but standing beside him, her presence warm and reassuring. "You have done well," she said softly. "The colony is safe and humanity has proven its strength, but there is more to discover. The universe is vast, full of mysteries and challenges. Your journey is only beginning." Adrian nodded, understanding the truth of her words. The experience had shown him the incredible potential of human creativity, courage, and determination. Humanity had reached far into the stars, and yet there were still countless challenges to face, countless mysteries to unravel. He felt a renewed sense of purpose, a commitment to continue exploring, learning, and protecting. The dreams had guided him, but it was his own courage and ingenuity that had allowed him to act. Humanity was capable of extraordinary feats, and he was determined to continue proving it. As the stars outside the colony twinkled, Adrian reflected on the journey so far. He had followed dreams, faced dangers, and relied on human intuition to overcome challenges that seemed impossible. Yet he knew this was only the beginning. The universe was vast, and humanity's role within it was just beginning to unfold. He looked at Lyra, standing beside him, and felt a connection deeper than words. She had guided him, taught him, and believed in his ability to act. Together, they represented the best of humanity: courage, creativity, and resilience. The night passed quietly, but Adrian knew that new challenges awaited. The universe was alive, full of energy, movement, and unknown forces. Humanity's strength lay not just in technology, but in the courage to face the unknown, the creativity to find solutions, and the determination to act when it mattered most. And as he drifted into a sleep filled with stars, Adrian felt a sense of hope and excitement. The dreams had led him to this moment, and they would continue to guide him. Humanity had reached far, and with courage and ingenuity, it would reach even farther. The journey through the stars was far from over. The challenges were greater than ever, yet Adrian was ready. He understood that human intuition, creativity, and determination were as vital as any technology, and that together, humans could face any threat, protect any colony, and explore any mystery the universe presented. He was no longer just an observer of the stars. He was a participant, a protector, a human capable of shaping the future. and with Lyra by his side, he knew that anything was possible. Humanity had proven its strength, and the universe had only begun to reveal its wonders. Adrian stood on the observation deck of the colony, watching the distant stars twinkle against the black canvas of space. The comet had been deflected, the colony was safe, and yet the air still carried tension. He could feel it in the hum of machinery, in the subtle vibrations beneath his feet, and in the unspoken weight of responsibility that lingered over every human settlement among the stars. Lyra was beside him, her presence calm and steady. She had guided him through the crisis, taught him to trust his instincts, and shown him the power of human ingenuity in a way that no technology alone could match. Together, they had protected lives, prevented disaster, and proven that humanity's courage and creativity could meet even the most extraordinary challenges. "We did it," Adrian said softly, though the words felt inadequate. Lyra turned to him, her eyes reflecting the distant starlight. "Yes, but this is only one moment. The universe is vast. There will always be new challenges, new mysteries, and new responsibilities. Humanity must be ready, and so must you." Adrian nodded, understanding the truth in her words. He had acted on instinct, on intuition, and on the guidance of dreams that connected him to her. That connection had allowed him to navigate challenges no one could have predicted. Yet he also understood that the real victory lay in human resilience, creativity, and determination, the qualities that had allowed them to survive, adapt, and thrive. Over the next few days, Adrian and Lyra worked together to stabilize the colony fully. They reinforced power systems, adjusted shields, and ensured that the settlement could withstand future cosmic anomalies. Adrian marveled at the collaboration between human ingenuity and the lessons learned from the dreams. Machines could calculate, predict, and analyze, but the human mind had a flexibility and intuition that no artificial system could replicate. One afternoon, while scanning the colony's outer perimeter, Adrian noticed something unusual. A faint energy signature appeared on the sensors, distant and subtle, almost imperceptible. It pulsed irregularly, echoing the patterns of the comet but on a smaller scale. Adrian's heart raced. Another anomaly, or perhaps a residual effect of the comet's energy. Lyra appeared at his side, observing the readings. "It seems smaller, but it is similar in nature. The energy is adapting, learning. That is why humans are essential. We must continue to guide, to act, to protect." Adrian took a deep breath. The challenges were far from over, yet he felt ready. He had faced the impossible, learned to trust his instincts, and relied on the human ability to think, adapt, and persevere. Humanity had survived countless challenges before, and now they had a chance to prove once again that they could rise above any threat. They decided to investigate the energy signature further. Adrian piloted his ship closer to the source while Lyra monitored the data. As they approached, the energy pulses became more distinct, forming patterns that were almost intentional. Adrian realized that the anomaly seemed to respond to thought, to intention, just as it had with the comet. It was alive in a way that was difficult to understand, yet human ingenuity and intuition had proven effective before. The closer they got, the more Adrian understood the potential of collaboration. Human creativity, combined with careful observation and experimentation, allowed them to anticipate the energy's behavior and adjust their actions accordingly. The AI provided calculations and simulations, but the final decisions relied on instinct, adaptability, and courage. They worked for hours, carefully guiding the energy away from populated areas, dispersing it safely into space, and stabilizing the field around the colony. Each movement required precision and patience. Each decision tested their understanding of both science and human intuition. Finally, the pulses diminished, leaving the colony secure and the energy harmless. Adrian felt a sense of pride unlike any he had experienced before. The success was not just about saving a colony or redirecting dangerous energy. It was about proving that humans could rise to challenges that exceeded the limits of technology alone, that courage, creativity, and ingenuity were as vital as any machine. Humanity's strength lay in their minds, their hearts, and their determination to act in the face of the unknown. As they returned to the colony, Lyra turned to Adrian. "You have grown," she said, her tone warm and approving. "You have learned to trust your instincts, to act with confidence, and to combine knowledge with creativity. These qualities define humanity. You are ready for whatever comes next." Adrian smiled, feeling a deep sense of connection to her words. "I understand now." The dreams, the guidance, they were never just about warnings. They were about teaching me to trust myself, to recognize the power humans have, and to act when it matters most. Lyra nodded. "Exactly. And you have proven that humans can face the unknown and protect each other, even in the vastness of space. That is why I reached out to you, through dreams and intuition. You embody what it means to be human." Over the following weeks, Adrian and Lyra worked with the colony's residents to reinforce defenses, improve technology, and share knowledge about the energy anomalies. Adrian realized that human adaptability and creativity were contagious. By teaching others to observe, anticipate, and act, they strengthened the entire community. Every person, every decision, every small act of ingenuity contributed to the safety and survival of the colony. One evening, Adrian stood outside, watching the twin moons rise over the planet's horizon. Lyra joined him, and they observed the beauty of the cosmos together. The silence was comfortable, filled with understanding and mutual respect. They had faced incredible danger, relied on human intuition, and come out stronger. "The universe is vast," Lyra said softly, "but humans have something no anomaly or energy can match: creativity, courage, and determination. These are the qualities that will carry you forward." Adrian nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "I will continue to learn, to explore, and to protect. Humanity has proven its strength, and I will do everything I can to ensure it continues to shine in the stars." The colony thrived in the following months. Resources were carefully managed, energy systems improved, and the inhabitants learned to anticipate and respond to cosmic threats. Adrian's work, guided by the lessons of the dreams and the partnership with Lyra, became a model for future colonies. Humanity's ingenuity and courage had not only saved lives, but also strengthened their place among the stars. Despite the challenges, Adrian never lost hope. He understood that the universe would continue to present obstacles, but he also knew that human creativity, determination, and empathy could meet them. Every success reinforced the idea that humans were capable of extraordinary feats when guided by knowledge, intuition, and courage. One night, as Adrian rested, the dreams returned, not as warnings but as visions of possibility. Lyra appeared beside him, smiling, the stars of distant galaxies reflected in her eyes. "You have done well," she said. "The colony is safe, humanity has proven its strength, and you have learned to trust yourself. But remember, the universe is vast, and there is always more to explore, more to understand, more to protect." Adrian felt a deep sense of peace. He understood that the dreams, the guidance, and the challenges were part of a larger journey, one that would continue as humanity reached farther into the cosmos. He was ready, equipped not only with technology but with the courage, creativity, and determination that defined humans. The stars outside glimmered like diamonds against the infinite black, each one holding potential, mystery, and opportunity. Adrian realized that humanity's place among them was not just to survive but to thrive, to learn, to explore, and to shine. Every human mind, every act of courage, every leap into the unknown was proof that humanity could meet any challenge, no matter how vast or mysterious. As he stood with Lyra, watching the cosmos, Adrian felt a connection deeper than words, a link to humanity, to exploration, and to the unending possibilities that lay ahead. He understood that dreams, intuition, and human ingenuity could guide them through even the most extraordinary challenges. The universe stretched endlessly, full of wonder and danger, yet Adrian felt confident. Humanity had faced impossible odds before, and it would continue to do so. Their strength was not in machines alone, but in creativity, courage, and determination, the qualities that had carried them to the stars and beyond. And as the colony thrived under their care, Adrian knew that this was only the beginning. The dreams had shown him a path, Lyra had guided him, and together they had proven the power of human spirit. The universe was vast, but humanity was ready, capable of reaching farther, understanding more, and protecting all that mattered. Adrian smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility and the thrill of possibility. Humanity's journey among the stars was ongoing, full of challenges, discoveries, and triumphs, and he was proud to be a part of it, confident in the knowledge that human creativity, courage, and determination could shape the future, no matter what the universe held. The stars shimmered, endless and eternal, and Adrian felt a deep sense of hope. Humanity's place in the cosmos was secure, not because of luck, but because of the human spirit. He had followed the dreams, faced the unknown, and proven that humans could rise to challenges beyond imagination. With Lyra beside him and the colony safe, Adrian understood the truth he had been learning all along. Humans were capable of extraordinary things, and their journey had only just begun. The universe was vast, full of mysteries and possibilities, but humanity would meet it with courage, creativity, and determination, shining brightly among the stars forever. She appeared in his dream, before he ever met her.